Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this fourth Saturday of June. And before we close out the show, let me tell you about next week's show. You want to be listening to us. We're going to be talking to Dale Sanders, the graybeard adventurer himself, as he paddles the Mississippi River on his way from the source of the river to the Gulf of Mexico at 80 years old. And I've been keeping up. Go to the graybeardadventurer.com. You can find out where he is. I know he's in Iowa right now. He's trying to make that 30 miles a day in that canoe. And it's an unbelievable adventure. I mean, he's been through storms, all those storms that move through the Midwest. And anyway, so next week's show, we're going to spend about 30 minutes at least, if we can, as he paddles along the river talking to Dale on his way to Memphis on July the 18th. That's when he hopes to pull into the Mud Island Harbor there and take a little break, and that's July the 18th, and I hope folks will keep up with Dale Sanders. And we're also going to be talking to Deborah Alexander on next week's show. This lady, if you ever call the TWRA in the Jackson office, you have probably talked to Deborah. Deborah is retiring on July the 8th, and so we're going to have her on next week's show to talk about her long career with the TWRA, maybe some of the goofy calls she's gotten. And I know she's probably got
none went there.
Probably the top 5 of her craziest calls.
Heck, I might have 2 of the top 5.
I'm not going to tell you, but some guy named Wong has got at least one of those. I know that. So we're going to talk to Deborah on next week's show, and then who knows who else we may talk to on Outdoors with Larry Ray on the first Saturday in July, which is hard to believe. That'll be July the 4th weekend. And we're going to talk some boating safety on that show, too, also about that, because
absolutely
there will be a lot of folks on the water next weekend.
Well,
won't be me.
It won't be you. You're off the water.
I'll be driving home from Florida.
Well,
really? Okay.
It won't be me, but, it's a great reminder, Larry, that you bring that up about practicing good water safety. And
well, that's why I brought it up, because you guys have been on the water. I've been through some unbelievable experiences on the water I can tell you about, and I can tell you fishing with some folks.
Have you followed Kevin Van Dam at an elite tournament?
I bet that's an
had some experiences.
That's kind of fun. Kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, just remember, everybody, please remember, have a life jacket for each and every person in your boat. And not stored away, because it doesn't do any good if something happens.
And wear your kill switch.
Wear your kill switch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you, and Bill's so right. I see people, they have the cords dangling off of their kill switch and not attached to their life preserver. Whenever the gas engine is running, and I don't care what kind of boat it is, you need to have that life jacket on.
I've seen both duck boats and bass boats out there going in circles while people bobbed around in the water.
No,
and that's one of the scariest things from a distance.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
But you're sitting there in a boat and you're watching it.
Yep. There's nothing you can do about it either.
It's slow motion and scary.
Yeah. You can't go out and jump on the boat and turn it off or anything like that. You just can't do it.
Well, I know the wildlife officers, the boating detail folks that we'll probably try to hook up with Brian Thompson with the TWRA, but there will be so much going on next weekend. And one thing that I want to tell you about before I forget about it, don't forget, June the 30th. Why is that date important? Anybody here know why June the 30th is important?
It's my son's birthday.
Bill the 12th will be 14?
15.
15. That can't be possible.
All right, learner's permit.
But that's not the
learner's
day.
Permit.
June the 30th. You folks out there in Radio Land, that is the most important date in Tennessee for you hunters and fishermen, because that's the last day you can buy the license at the old rates.
Yep.
July 1st, all licenses go up. So if you're going to go out there and you want to buy a license, you better buy it between now and the end of June.
To do it now.
So I'm just telling you, June 30th is that last date if you're going to get any kind of license They're going up.
Especially a sportsman's license,
Especially,
because that
here
one
we go. Yeah.
is a bitter pill to swallow,
Yes,
I promise you.
Yes, it is. And so Bill
It is what it is.
He's
but
not
you
on
know
that.
what?
That soapbox is not here, but it would be if we had
Well,
room for
I'd
it.
be happy to
Well,
jump on
He
it.
would jump on
And
it.
I'm not mad at the TWRA.
No,
well, I mean,
no.
you know, you look at every state around us and throughout the nation, and you see a lot of increases. You know, the only thing about that is, and I've talked to people in California
Yes.
and everywhere else in between from here or there. The biggest part is if the funds would go directly to the wildlife resources agencies, we have no problems.
Well, we're not set up like Arkansas and Missouri and other people.
I was going to say, that's
Yeah.
the bitter pill, because
Yeah.
in Tennessee, we're paying, on average, 3 times as much for a license as all of our neighbors around Tennessee.
and that's
And they're going to
and
get caught up.
that's got 2 minutes left in this
They,
show.
they
It's
can't
Greg.
get caught
Thank you,
up
Greg.
until the rest of the state chips in.
Yeah, the rest of the state. But anyway, June 30th, I want to bring that up as we close this show because that is when you need to buy that license or before they go up, as Bill said. I am glad that we're going to have some user fees out there for folks who are going to have to pay
Amen.
to be able to participate, that they've been having a free ride for a long year, and I don't need to get in on that.
Absolutely.
Also, let me tell you real quickly, I've got it now. The dates, August 7th through the 9th. The 20th annual Mid-South Big Buck Contest is going on out as we get to the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing Extravaganza, August 7th through the 9th. Get it on your calendar. We'll be talking a lot about that. And again, next week, Dave Gabbert, Gene Smith will be in studio as we talk to the Graybeard Adventurers himself. Greg Ratliff, thank you for taking care of us. Bill Cooksey,
Enjoyed it.
had a great one, buddy. Have a great trip to Florida, right?
We'll do it.
All right. Ron Wong, you're everywhere. I know, you're everywhere.
We'll go somewhere.
We'll go somewhere. All right.
Very
this
soon.
This is Larry Ray reminding you to do each and every week. Does it cost an extra cent to be a good sport? And God bless the USA.
Find